Oh my God. That's, to me, that's so freaky.
It is.
It's like freaky.
Jimmy's been waiting. He's been dying. Zoom in on Jimmy because he's so happy that he's so excited, don't you now?
See? Did you see what it is, though?
Remember what you were called when you had the CB radio, you and Daddy? What was that called? The Silver Fox.
Hello, I'm Mr. Dad.
Remember? Yeah. Well, this is a red fox.
See it? This is war.
He lands up on it. Come on. Come on. Don't catch cold. Don't catch cold.
What have you got? He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah.
He's a big kid. No. Does he look like a weirdo? Hey!
Let us take you across. What we're going to do is we're going to meet by the meet at St. George's. We'll get underway. I just feel like taking it because there was nothing there. So enjoy yourself, but did you bring extra pills? But you came with automatic. St. George's Church, 1849. And when they expanded the church, they built across the cemetery. How
He takes up the choir loft. There's no hymn books. There's no candles. So he goes to find the sexton. While she's seated there, she looks down at the altar. There's a lady in white kneeling at the altar. The lady stands up, looks at her, and disappears. Go ahead. I like additional witnesses.
I don't.
It is locked. Oh well. I like additional witnesses to my story, so I found one. You'll have to make it. There's a man who's a current city employee, and he tells me it's his job to line the clock as they do.
Gotta go to some spooky place.
No, there isn't. They got the mama stair, like it's right. Yep. And there she was, a long white dress, long black hair. They got the nerve to speak to her. May we help you? And she disappeared. Well, I'm so sorry we cannot get in. I asked them to have open doors, but apparently it was night locked. But if you ever take George and you stand in the aisle, doors will start opening. And we leave these things to our friends. But it's also of interest, and I had the police department verify this story, that the police dogs will not enter this building at night. If the alarm's going, their dogs will not enter the building. And some policemen will not enter the building at night because they had haunting experience. If you get dark during the day, step inside. Absolutely. And there's a miracle inside because you see this church gate. And then when you stand in there, look on your left and you see a beautiful stained glass window with the Savior and two apostles. But see two on this side, one of each of an angel, the original Tiffany Blues, brought down by wagon by Mr. Tiffany himself to put in this building. So try to get inside. It is absolutely beautiful. But since he's over there, we're going to go this way. Have you been to Washington, D.C. and seen the Smithsonian Castle in the mall? That was Courtney. The time we did the clever name for a ghost was Courtney. Like the name. You're a little closer. How about you? The city employees will say... How many of you Yankees in this room again? Just checking. Maybe they were kidding. The courthouse. The employees will say, we hear things, things get rearranged, we hear strange noises, things disappear, and they can't figure out why it would be haunted. Well, I think you can figure out why it would be haunted, because if you stand in here, let me show you something. There's the town hall down there. There's only 4 town halls in all the country: Boston, Charleston, Alexandria, and here. It will become a union hospital. 75 unions of people will follow up with this. Here is St. George's Church. Surgery. Here is the progress doctor's office right there on that corner. The Presbyterian Church. All around. What do you think the courthouse is? That's it. You got it. So of course it would be haunted. Well, let's go a little closer because I have another theory why it's haunted. I will share that.
I'm telling you, they really
In
don't.
the 1940s, they did what I call if I were trying to get an extra building in half, what would you do? You'd be angry. I think you're going to love it. I think you'd like it. If you ever get a chance to go inside. And we're going to journey past I've been told in the yard she couldn't be the sound of the time of your grandfather. I thought, this is grandfather. But I'll tell you what I find most interesting. The owner, the tenant people who live there, they always say he is not hard. So it just so happens that I got a couple in town who knew him. And they came with me when I visit. That means that he has the stuff. And then he said it was on himself today. He realized that he kept pointing to the dog up down the stairs. And then he realized the dog was missing. It was on it. Originally handled by John Kohler. Everyone at town of John Kohler, which is called Father Kohler. Father Kohler died. They buried him under the altar of his church. Then started dirtying down the confection house. She could bake with it. So when you buy cake, chocolate, it's gourmet and not a nationality. Until the federal occupation of the town, when you're really not sure that as a detention center, a jail for you, where they held the elderly men and the young men till they sent to Washington, D.C. and Fort Delaware. There's still 3 men on that top floor, so look in those windows so that people tell me were blindfolded and chained. I happen to know the name of one of them. For the photo of this group, one of the first donors name happens to be Mr. Glass. He's married to Elizabeth Taylor. How's the one you're thinking? For your information, we were moved to Madison County. That's the only prognosis. Upstairs, and one of them is some of the bed she found. You know what she's done. Here's what we'll do. I'll tuck them both in, and tomorrow I'll find out who he is. The figure will appear. The servants will hear footsteps. Sometimes you'll see the shape of a lady, and diners you'll see a lady on the stairway. The other interesting thing about that room is the soldier. There was a soldier who was wounded during the invasion of the town. He really believes that if you keep walking back and forth, you will not die. The piano in the parlor, someone came in, they opened the door, sat down beside her. She finished the piece and looked up, and nobody was there. In the annex on the other side, there's a girl, she's sitting there weeping, and no one knows who she is or why she's crying. But I still find of amusement the story of the chefs. When it was a French restaurant, the 2 chefs would not go in the basement unless you had someone upstairs. Because you'd be doing your chores, gathering supplies, you hear all these diners come walking in, you run up 2 flights of stairs, and nobody was there. So you always make sure that the hostess or maid or dean, you didn't have to do that. We're going to go up Caroline Street. Caroline is the wife of George II. She is a blonde, considered attractive, one of the most powerful in all of England, because she knew how to rule the throne. Does that remind you of anyone you know politically today? Think about it. History does repeat itself. Stay with me, honey. It's dark. The Battle of Fredericksburg is unique. It is a winter battle.
Right.
We're going to pontoons under heavy artillery fire and the intense street fighting in the town. This is a silent witness to that street fighting. Do you understand what is happening? Union soldiers are coming in from the river. The Confederates are firing upon them inch by inch through the buildings. You see why the buildings would be haunted? You see why the streets would be haunted? By the way, it started at 4:30. We're going to take you up to past the restaurant and ask you a question. Can I do that? She had a ghost named Vincent in here. So she came out the other night, she said, I gotta tell you a new one. Vincent is an electrician. Because what happened was they had this lamp upstairs that wouldn't work. Oh, that would be terrible. Well, you know if you have a lamp that's not working, you're not gonna leave it plugged in. So they unplugged it, they took the bulb out, laid it down, went home. Came back the next day, it is plugged in, the bulb is in, it works perfectly. Yeah, Vincent's an electrician. Let's take you to the corner and I'm gonna ask you a question and tell you a story on the corner. Since you have been here a couple of days, is there a favorite place you like to dine or place you want to dine? Any favorite restaurants? That's what you like to eat. Swiss Cottage, okay. Yes? Sammy Cheese. Okay, yeah. This is not an advertisement. I'm looking for this.
Tavern, an old tavern.
A Rising Sun is
Yeah.
a museum. It's not a place.
Ryan?
So now Swiss Cottage is better for that because it's a period house with good southern food. Swiss Cottage. Yeah, but Claiborne's, okay, that's fine. The reason I'm on your way is in a minute, but let me tell you one of the stories from the beginning, because it's kind of fun. I have been told that just before, like 3 days before the battle, you can actually, on the anniversary battle, you can hear the distinctive kill plate of the broken. You can hear the case odds of the horse's hoof, and it gets louder and louder until the day of the event. I never heard that. That's the only one. I have heard the sound of the muskets being like in the river. Sometimes you see the muzzle flashes. So I had the police department walking with me, and they said, oh yes, we get calls from Stafford County wanting to know why we're shooting off munitions at night in this town. So if you hear it or see it, it is not your imagination. But the reason I ask about restaurants is so many marketplace. You can't anywhere in this town. The first one I'm going to tell you about is one Green on the Americans. I never discuss it in front of the building because an axe murder took place. And they tell me they put a plate up on the shelf and floats down. And they put a drink glass in front of your dinner. Somebody cuts it in half and splits it in 2 parts before your eyes. It's a good axe murder right down the middle. how about spirits? One with the bay window down here. There's a Confederate soldier in the basement, not him. Not you. But you open the bar and I can see you in the bar. You get if you open the bar, you eat with your friends. Everyone who is together, you know. It's night to make everyone is laughing. Turn on the security cameras and they're doing the books. You'll see these figures walking across the camera. And there's a couple of doors up on the upper floors that will just mysteriously swing open. But the most amusing story was that he was standing in the kitchen and this loaf of bread flew across and landed in his feet. He looked at the cook and the cook says, I wish he'd stop doing that. That's the third loaf today. We're going to go down Hanover Street and discuss the nursery rhyme that this young man might recognize.
Just a bird?
It's such an experience. It's the son of Frederick George III for whom we wrote the nursery rhyme. Georgie, 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 high, puts the door open. That is you talk of political mudslinging with brandy. The church on the corner, originally in 1807, is the Bank of Virginia. And we had a wonderful method of security in the 19th century. You had the head cashier live above the bank. It was an occupied building. No one broke in. In October of 1807, the head cashier is William Roberts. His wife Isabella is here and their newborn son John. By divine providence, when a fire breaks out in this town, there are 3 men there to help them. And they will actually take Isabella and the baby out. They will rescue them. When you read the accounts of the fire of 1807, it says no one died, but Isabella died within a month. Could it be they never heard a smoke inhalation? And in the ghost book, there's a picture of a lady in a cape in the cemetery. That's where Isabella is buried. And I always think of her when I see that. But now you have a burned out building on the site. In 1818, the Fredericksburg Baptist Church was built here. And then in 1854, the 200 white members will sell that property to the 600 black members, free and slave. They own their own church, called it the African Baptist Church. The African Baptist Church became a surgery. Remember the trauma of the surgery? You know, all I ever said was, I know no honey, so I changed my mind. In a few moments, I will tell you why. But we're getting ready to cross the street, and I do have a rule. You know what? You cannot get run over. It is not permitted. It is not done. You must watch for cars. And by the way, some of you told me you were of Northern persuasion. Do not tell the drivers that. They will speed up. So before we cross the street, that is an 1890 structure because the whole thing collapsed in 1886. Now walk 7. And in the 20th century, do not wade in this water, do not swim in this water. It's a terrible silting problem. You lose your footing. That swift undercurrent takes you away. That's months before they find your body. And every time there's a drowning on this river, people go up for generations. But you notice something about it? It's always cooler back here than anywhere else. It's a cold spot. Some days it's walking in 3 Union soldiers who died in the African Baptist Church. I don't know if I should add that little appendix to it because I have people here from that state, but you're welcome wonder if they were from Michigan. Because they are rather brave. Oh, thank you for the